Hold on. Yeah, it's working. It's good. Okay, today we're gonna talk about edges. First, I'm gonna show you the painting I did. It's an oil painting, but it doesn't really matter. It's all about shapes, all about edges. If you have any questions, any comments, please type hi Tess, hi Angela. Please type your comments, and Lily is gonna read it to me, and I'm going to respond during this 30 minutes of talk, discussion. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This is an oil painting I did. Come on. Okay, it's gonna get better. Let's take a look at this. This is an oil painting, but doesn't really matter if it's watercolor or drawing or oil painting. Let's take a look at the edges. And let's take a look in the top over here. This is highlight between this shape and the edge over here and the background. It has a high contrast. As this edge moving, it's got a little bit softer and softer. And get over here, this almost like a lost. It's not yet, still have the contrast because the background, right? The background over here is much darker. Now there is a contrast in the value scale that's probably like 4, but the outside is about 7. As the edges moving down over here, you can see that this area is definitely kind of more and more subtle. And coming down over here is totally lost it. The reason for that is because of the outside value and the inside value. It look very much the same, even though the colors are different. And the edges keep moving down over here and then come down over here, and the edges came back again. And because of the value difference between these two colors. And also you can see on the face over here too. The edge is soft area and get a little bit sharper, and just because of the difference in the value scale. If you have any questions, let me know. And when you see on the outside over here, I make the hair and this area, it's totally soft because I don't want that to jump up. I want the viewer's attention remain on the main areas over here. Alright, and there's also on the nose over here, the edge pretty pronounced. So kind of like you design where you want the edge to show and where the edge want to be kind of like a disappear. So we call sometimes getting the attention in some area. Sometimes the attentions, I want them to disappear. So it's a kind of a high and found. Hi, Laurie, Vicky, welcome aboard. Okay, I don't really like too much of this kind of only me talking. This is less of engagement. In the future, we're gonna upgrade the setup. Maybe have you guys to call in. Maybe you guys talk to me. So let's continue on the plan. So we just talk about this oil painting. That the design that I create the edges, right? And the shoulder over here too. It has a little bit more contrast over here, and come down over here has a little bit less contrast. So kind of like a little bit more standing out. And then coming down over here disappear. I also want to show you another photo image. This is a photograph of a sculpture that I took from a museum. So you can see here that on the top over here, because the background is almost flat, the color flat. So we cannot actually compare to the oil painting I just showed you. It's quite different because I could manipulate the background to match the edge of the objects. right here on the top is a very sharp edge. And then coming down over here, it lost it again. And moving, have a little edge. Now moving down over here, the edge almost very soft. And then coming down over here on the neck over here is kind of disappear, right? So the edges is all about the contrast, how you manipulate the contrast. So I want to show you that over here. Hi, someone say hi to you. Laurie, say hi to you. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit about how we create edges in with watercolor. So I'm going to put this tape over here. Right, I put the tape over here as a white tape, so you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to do a wash. Here we go. Now I'm going to just take this color. Right, I'm going to get a little bit more red color, and my favorite, Crescent Blue. Maybe get a little yellow color. Here we go. So the color a little bit darker, this new color. Okay, so I'm going to just put the color on the watercolor paper. The paper I'm using today for this exercise is Stramore 140 pound, as you guys very familiar with it. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the side, and now here's we go. I'm gonna lift up the tape. Now you can see both sides has pretty sharp edges because I used the tape. How can it looks that the attention start from here and keep moving. It's very persistent, even though the outside color over here it has some vary. It's just not the same color. So you can see over here in this area, the edge a little bit softer, but when you look at over here, the edge a little bit sharper. How we are going to make this edge a little bit more, has a little bit more rhythm. Let's take a look, right? Over here, I'm going to use this 1-inch flat brush. It's easier. And I'm going to soften this area, right? Now this area, the edge is softer now, and I can use it to blend in a little, like that. So that edge is almost like a lost. And what about on this side? I want the edge a little bit more pronounced. I'm gonna add even darker color, so increase the contrast between the outside color over here and the inside. And I also can vary the shape a little bit, so the edge is not straight, right? But however, the edge has angle, has sharpness, and has a very contrast. So over here, if I want the edge totally lost it, so it's just going to remove. It looks pretty easy. It just remove that very contrast. So now over here, I'm going to get a little edge come back a little bit, so I can lift up the colors. Right? So now this is how you control the edge, even though, so over here I want to make it a little bit softer, so I can lift up the colors and use the wet brush. Now the edge a little bit softer, so I'm going to show you a little bit closer. You can see that, and this edge is almost lost it, so it's very soft. So if you want to be softer, you just have it close up. So I want you to double check on your recent painting. And I just went over the Facebook group. I look at some of your new paintings. So I saw that some of you did not pay enough attention to the edges. Like look at the edge of the face. It is persistent, all the way coming down, they actually create lots of tension. And you want people like the same kind of tension keep coming down. You have to give it a break at a point, right? You can have like somewhere have a little bit more tension. Somewhere have to be the tension have to release and let it relax a little bit, and then you'll be able to come back to it with more tension. So this is kind of like you design the rhythm. And even though the photo reference may not be really look like that, but however you are the artist, you create the new reality. You define it. You decide how the audience, how our viewers, what kind of experience you're going to give it to them. Okay? Okay, good. If you have any questions, please type it over here. Also, we can discuss after this lesson. Hello. How are you, Lisa? Okay, what we're going to do next, we are going to maybe start a painting. And the painting we talk about that we are going to do
See you.
I'm glad to see you. This is a mountain goat. This is the image. Do you have any questions at this point about edges? So I really like you guys to actually compare to your latest painting to see if I'm gonna soften some area, where I'm gonna soften it. Want to make it softer, and or maybe some area you can make it a little darker. So make the area to create the relaxing experience. You can basically have, I think it's two things over here. Is one is the value contrast, and the other things most people confuse is the color. The colors really matter. The colors matter, but the colors always secondary. It's not as important as directly impact to the edges. It actually the value, like between the light color and the dark color. Doesn't matter. The light color is the light red color, a light orange color, or light yellow color, or a little light green color. But it's important is how light is the color, how dark is the color, that create the impact. Yes, Vicky, let's take a look at your paintings on this. I'm gonna take a look at Vicky's painting again. I saw that saw you did the watercolor painting of lilies. From Lily's photograph is just the head and the shoulder, and I'm gonna look at it again so I can answer your question. And Lisa, and would it just be where there is a change in values? Mostly it's about the value change. The color can spice up the whole image, the whole painting. But mostly you think about light and dark colors that most really matter. Let's take a look at Vicky, let's look at here. If you guys access to EnjoyingArt.com, and you probably can see what I am talking about here. All right, Vicky, look at that paintings, and let's let's capture this screen, and so we can all see that what we are talking about. I'm going to create a new screen. Okay, I'm just about going to add this screen, and I'm going to copy the microphone too, so you can see what I'm looking at. Just take a look here, Vicky. This is your new painting. Look at the top over here. This is very persistent. Look at the top of the hair, right here. It's very persistent. So maybe somewhere on the left down here, I'm not sure you see my mouse. On the left side down here, that hair can be a little bit softer, right? And also look at the edge of her face. Look at the other side, looks good. And the right side of the face is good, from dark, coming a little bit softer, coming down. But on the shadow side of the edge of the face, you can see that very persistent. It's coming down like this. Okay, so those things you can thinking about that, how you are going to design it to maybe somewhere doesn't need to be that strong. Somewhere maybe can be a little bit softer. Let's come back over here to the live stream. Okay. Is that right? So, so somewhere you can think about maybe the persistent too much. Maybe it should be.
Our voice when use screen share.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have a screen to show the screen. But anyway, we have 12 minutes because of my hardware. It only allowed us to do 30 minutes. So 29 minutes for exact. So we have to end this pretty soon. So let's talk about, let me give you examples about just all those expression languages. They are very similar. Let's do it like something like this with the voice or the musical. Like Lily is very good with music, express her feeling.
We're okay now. We can hear everything now.
Oh, you can hear everything now. Oh, it lost. Okay, so like say, if I am going to say something like this, like say, kind of boring, isn't it? But I'm going to vary it. So almost if I put the persistent same hard edges all around, like say, do you want to make the noise? Like, that is this kind of annoying effect. But when we do it with watercolor, we can use like just like if we are going to use just like the same kind of feeling and have all the way.
I like that blue.
You like that blue? Good. Let's use this blue. You see this? So it's a very same persistent color from the left to the right. I'm looking for this side of the edge, right? So maybe somehow we can do something like this. Not like maybe I do it like say You see a little bit more comfortable, right? It's like say somewhere it's a little bit sharper, somewhere a little bit softer, somewhere a little bit relaxed, and somewhere a little bit more like getting your attention, right? Okay, how can we vary over here? Either you're gonna change the inside of the shape. or you can change outside of the shape. Let's talk about that. Change the inside of the shape. This is easy because the outside now, it is totally white. And if we make the inside of this color closer to the outside color, that is one way we can make it a little bit less tension. Okay, let's see. We're gonna make this area a little bit lighter. Now the edge is lost. Okay, that's one. I'm gonna make it a little closer to the camera so you can see. This edge is kind of lost because I modified inside the shape. What about, I don't want to modify inside of this shape. I want to modify outside of the shape. And how can we do that? And we can use other colors if we want. Now we take this kind of warm gray colors and it will be darker. It will be darker than the white colors. So it will be closer to their shape. So if I make the outside shape a little bit unmodified, okay, I don't think you see this. You see it now. Now is the outside shape changed. It's closer to the value of the inside shape. Compare over here, I remove the dark color inside this shape, so it's closer to the outside of the edge. So this is softer now. The edge become. So what I'm going to talk about is, what I talk about now is about how we can release or soften the contrast or the tension. And that is about making, either you making inside of one shape or outside of a shape. Or maybe like it's all about contrast between one shape and the other shape, right? Let's take a look at over here the painting that let's take a look at this painting. The painting that we are going to do tomorrow, in tomorrow evening, 4 o'clock, for the Boston time. So I'm going to have the links to the YouTube page. I'm going to send the link to you so you can prepare. I'm not quite sure if any one of you already start this on this painting. So let's take a look at the all around, like say on the top over there, on the rock, there's this edges.
Soften all the time. What is the feeling the painting gives?
Okay, if you soften all the time, what is the feeling? Oh, that's a very good conversation, and we're gonna talk about that with the remaining of 5 minutes. Okay. So Laurie, what is the point? I almost forget this. I have it on a note. What's the point to make the edge somewhere softer,
I did it with
somewhere harder? What's the point? Why we're going to design it with a soft edge somewhere and hard edge somewhere? We're not talking about making everything soft. Making everything soft, it doesn't have a point. Is that right? So making the sharp edge is where you want the people pay attention to. There is almost like where you want the people look at first. There you actually create the sharp edge. But in some areas it become only supporting. Okay, it's not the focal point. We will release the tension. At that point, we use less contrast, which is, we talk about edges now, which is the soft edge. It's not a hard edge. But even on the main objects, right? On the main object, depends on how much impact you want to give, how much tension that you're going to give. If you keep beating up with the high contrast, and eventually the viewer's eye would be tired. So we don't want them to be tired. We want them to to like coming in and out and in. But some places we don't want hard edge at all. Like I say, lots of those background elements that we want it to be disappear. We want to be seeing something. Oh, is something there? It could be there, and maybe nothing is there. But it's kind of like let them use their experience to input in our art creation, right? So just think about it. Maybe like I say, you know it as an artist. You know it that is something that you want the people to look at, something that you want the people to pay attention to. That is the area you want to create a hard edge. Let's come back, take a look at this oil painting one more time. Right? Let's take a look over here. In my design, where is the highest contrast? Where's the highest contrast? Ready? There's a little bit over here, but you can see that my design of the light color start from the background over here, right? Have some light color compared to the dark color, but it's just not a big shape. So kind of like a little relaxed, like a bang, 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 bang. It's coming through like a little bit about introduction into the music. So the eye is coming in over here. It's coming in over here now, coming into the here. But again, the edge lost very quickly and coming over here. Now actually, what I want the viewer's eye coming in is coming through the forehead over here has hard edge. But it's going with soft edge and hard edge and coming down over here with hard edge again. And then coming down over here, it lost the edge over here under the nose. But coming down over here and pick it up again and coming down through under the chin. This is kind of moving down. The edge starting over here, the attention over here, coming in here. So kind of like have a little bit dancing. And going through over here and coming down and then showing to the shoulder. But quickly also some interest over here. Create some interest, and then going through over here, but edge lost and moving all to the right hand side and off the painting through the right side of the shoulder, right? So kind of like the design of a painting. So it depends on how you want the people. But if you have the hard edge start over here and kind of like keep coming through. If especially the hard edge connected over here, and the viewer's eye will be enter over here and directly exit. So doesn't give them the chance to actually going through in and out and pick up the interest and soft and pick up the interest again and going through. So we'll be guiding the edge. Is like a way to guide the viewer's eye through your painting, travel through your painting, and then how you want the viewers exit to the painting. But when you exit the painting, making sure they have a chance to go through their main interest that you try to present to the viewer. Is there any questions? Okay, the time's almost up. I'm going to upgrade this camera pretty soon. Maybe get not have the limit of 30 minutes so that we can actually do a much longer lesson, like say an hour or even 2 hours of painting process. So for tomorrow, 4 p.m. Boston time, we are going to do this painting. Okay, hopefully I will see all of you again here, and let's have to continue the conversation. So what I really like you guys to do is to review your recent paintings, to thinking about that, do I need to keep the hard edge all the way, or can I just soften somewhere? Is overuse the hard edge? There's most of us more likely overused hard edges instead of worry too much of is everything soft. So far, what I see now.
Will there be a replay?
Okay. As soon as we stop this, I'm stopping this now, and then the video, it would generate it and would be generated by YouTube and should be on the page. I'm going to remind you with another message pretty soon. Okay, so you can be able to see that. I probably keep it unlisted, so only the people have the direct link be able to see this video. So I will send you guys all the links very soon. Okay, maybe an hour or 2 hours from now. Or maybe you can come back to the same page, you can see it. Okay, good to see you guys all. Thank you, and you guys are all my favorite artists. So I will see you tomorrow.
No, don't go.
I know. It's gonna shut down pretty soon. Okay, I will see you soon. I will talk to you over the messages. Thank you.